So this is the session first is more of a learning session, the procedures and making relationships and then things, see how things do work. Originally, we thought we probably about put in 15 bills or so, but we ended up putting over 100 bill and resolutions that we have. Uh, some of it is our original, some of it is our joint authors. A few of them are co-authors. But my focus was, of course, healthcare, education, safety, security, technology. That is our focus on. So I have a bill, HB 4762, which is about the hospital medical staff safety. That because of a lot of psychological, mental, and physical abuse is going on with healthcare workers, especially nurses, and I've been told that a lot of them are afraid and are not coming to work, and they're quitting the jobs. So I have a bill, HB 4762, which waives the liability if the injury happens in self-defense. So that would help the hospital staff doing that. There are similar bills that is the criminal penalty goes up to felony that I have a joint author with, and the bill is in the Senate on that one. So again, in that similar lines that is happening. I have a couple of bills in higher education with mental health. But this is a very vulnerable population that goes out. So I have one is a smoking and tobacco ban in all higher education buildings. There are studies that show that the students or people in this age group, if they do not pick up any bad habit, likelihood of them picking up in a later life is very small. At the same time, there are studies that shows that people who pick up smoking in this age group, our likelihood of picking up any hard drugs addiction is high. So knowing the work environment, the stress, anxiety that the student goes through with the new school, maybe they come from a small area and going to a big school, or big area going to small school with weather change and the environmental change, and with the stress and peer pressure and grades and all that. It's very easy if things are accessible to them. There was another study that was asked like, why do you smoke or why do you do this? And then the most answer came was it was easily accessible. So if we kind of limit that, I think we can do better. So I have one bill which I'm passionate about. It helps with the healthcare and with the education side. So that is a smoking ban, tobacco abuse ban on the campus. I have another one about similar lines in higher education, that during orientation, the students should be taken to a physical tour of the mental health office, because that's another thing we have seen, that a student in this age group, they feel like they know all, and there's no issue until the issue happens. And this is not just like a little flu that you can find out where is the office and you can go next day or a little later. If people are acutely suicidal, if there are things are happening, you need to know where exactly to go. So my bill actually is gonna force the administration to, during orientation, they should take the students to the mental health office. That will create, one thing is that physically will know where it is when the crisis happens. Number two, they will have a rapport build up. So there is always a soft spot when you shake hands and meet with somebody, then you can see, okay, I know so-and-so who can help me. Third thing, when the crisis happens, nobody know where the prospectus is, where this book is, where it says which floor and what building to go to. So this will help. Fourthly, so this is kind of things they are doing. Another important aspect that I'm very passionate about is technology, and especially artificial intelligence, which is going into all the fields, especially in healthcare too. So I have one bill which is asking the House to set up a committee to do research about all the available and future AI needs of the state of Texas, and then to create a Texas Workforce Commission to create a training program so we can have a workforce for them. Another bill I have is catfishing. So a lot of so healthcare, education, and technology. That's what I'm working on. So luckily, all my bills are out of the committee. They are voted out, and now we are waiting on the calendar. My first bill actually is on the calendar for hearing on Saturday. which I am hopeful that it'll pass, and I'm hopeful that the other bills will make it to the calendar very soon. So uh, I was able to put in about 4 amendments. Two of them were in the budget too. So it's a good start to do with, and then I'm hopeful that some of these bills will get through it. Once I came into legislation, one of the, what do you call, uh, a bright mind told me that, whenever you put in a legislation, make sure you're very clear that what group is going to help, but also be very careful what group is going to hurt. You have to be very clear. And I see there are some bills are coming in which are going to hurt some people, especially any bill that discriminates people on their heritage, ethnicity, faith, religion, ability. Those are not good. So SB 147 about the land ownership of a few nationalities. That is not good. That's not a good precedent. That we should be working against it. Another bill, HB3, which was marketed as a lot of money. I would believe, I think $1.6 billion going to education, but come to find out, there's more guns on the school premises, and kind of in spite of having that sugar coating. So that bill should not pass, but it has passed. HB3 is a concern. SB 142, 147 is a concern. HB 2127 is another concern, which is what we call preemption bill, taking away the local control. So there are a couple that are out there which has already passed the House, but they are very concerning. So I think it's not of a surprise, but it's more of a learning. So what I'm learning is relationships matter. We need to make sure that, be very open to hear the other side too, so they are willing to open your side of the story. So I'm trying to build that bridge and bring the relationship that I'm here to work, and to pass anything, we need to work on both sides of the aisle. So I'm trying to find like-minded people who understands healthcare, who understands safety, security, who understands technology, who can work with me, and I can work with them to pass some bills. So honesty, integrity, relationship, that's what, and then the process of itself, passing bills and timings of it, and learning to cross all the T's and dots all the I's. That's what we are learning this time. I think this is an opportunity for myself and for the community, and as a Texas as a whole. Being the first in our class, it comes with enormous responsibility, but it's also with a lot of pride that I'm doing and trying to build that bridges. One thing I believe that ignorance that leads to fear, that leads to hate. Whereas when we talk to each other, when we engage and we raise awareness, we build bridges and we are more united and we're more strong. So I'm bringing that perspective. They're trying to learn me. I'm trying to learn them that, even though we may look different, even though we may talk differently, but our ethics and values are pretty much same, and we all want to work for the improvement and betterment of people of Texas. So that's what my goal is to work with people, like-minded people, and pass some good bills. My message to all would be that please stay engaged and work. The time for sofa politics is gone. We cannot just gripe and push the baton to other people. The change that we want to see, the change that we want to make is going to change, will come from us. So I would ask everybody that stay engaged. That means that learn your elected officials, learn about their offices, what bills they're passing. Like go to my office, for example, and see what bills I'm passing, or or anything that is of you like it, or anything is of your concern. Let us know. Let's get engaged in the policy making. Number two is voting. Every time, whatever voting happens, go out and vote. And number three, if you stay engaged, then you can make your elected officials accountable. We are not very good about doing that. So I think the time for taking pictures and shaking hands is gone. This is a time to ask right questions to right people, and you will only be able to do that if you will be engaged. So my message to the community and youngsters would be is to stay engaged. And people say that, oh, I'm not, yeah, I'm apolitical. It doesn't affect me, but no, politics affect every aspect of your life. So you need to be staying engaged.